Hello and a very warm welcome back to my dear listeners. This is your host Sharmishta taking you back to the forest bungalow where Raghob and the caretaker Mohinder Babu are having quite an interesting conversation. Mohinder Babu looked around him warily. Young sir, please don't go anywhere near the parish's room. Please. And caution your friends too. We don't want any trouble. That parish is a dangerous man. The next morning, Raghob awoke to loud voices coming from the corridor. He looked at his watch. 10 a.m. He had overslept. He quickly got off the bed and opened the door. The voices were coming from further down the corridor. The parish was angrily scolding someone. Raghob walked up closer. The manager, Shadashib Babu, was at the receiving end of the parish's angry voice. Why was I woken up early? I don't like being disturbed. Don't you know that? Raghob noticed that Shadashib Babu was mumbling something nervously. I don't want to hear anything. The parish was still angry. Anyone snooping about my room will be punished. The angry hound will punish you. Suddenly the parish removed his glasses and glared at the manager. He turned his head to look at Raghob, whose breath caught in his throat for a single moment. The parish's eyes were so red and strange. They didn't seem human. The parish quickly covered his eyes with his glasses and stomped off into his room, banging the door shut behind him. Raghav walked up to the manager, who was still trembling. Sir, I didn't do anything purposely. I was merely carrying out instructions. You see, the local parish has come to meet him and is sitting in the office. I just came to tell Mr. Fernandez this. The local parish is here? Good. We wanted to meet him too. Now that Mr. Fernandez is not meeting him, might as well I do so. The local parish, Mr. Majumdar, was a tall, thin gentleman with a pleasant face. He stood up as Raghav entered the room. The local parish began with an apology. I'm so sorry. I should have perhaps informed prior to my arrival. Well, I didn't think of it that way. I mean, parishes from different parts of the country do come down to our church to visit whenever they are here. I thought Mr. Fernandez. Raghav introduced himself and pulled up a chair. Please sit down, sir. I wanted to ask you a few questions. Are you familiar with the history of this place? Especially that western side, those dark hills, and that stone mansion. Mr. Majumdar looked grim. Have you been to that stone mansion? Well, I happened to go near it yesterday, and don't ever do that. Please don't go there. That place is cursed. Well, Mr. Majumdar, please tell me something new. You are saying what everyone else here has already cautioned me about. Don't go near the mansion. It's cursed, it's spooked. And then we have here this half-crazy parish from Bangalore. God knows what he's up to. The local parish stood up. I shall take your leave now. Mr. Majumdar, one more question. Do you know what angry hound means? The local parish stared at Raghav wordlessly. I mean, today Mr. Fernandez said this when he was shouting at the manager, something about an angry hound removing anyone who dares disobey. I wondered whether you had an idea. Mr. Majumdar cleared his throat. Come by tomorrow evening to our church, and yes, please carry a flashlight with you. The darkness can be treacherous. Goodbye then. I shall expect to see you tomorrow. The next evening, Raghav turned up at the local church and was ushered into the parish's room. Over tea, Raghav asked him, So, Mr. Majumdar, what do you know about the angry hound? Where did you get this name from? I told you, I heard that parish from Bangalore say it yesterday. I see. Well, local folklore has it that angry hound is equivalent to the king of dogs, a bloodthirsty hunting hound. The parish rose and, walking up to the bookshelf, pulled out a book and handed it to Raghav. This book, The god and goddess of uncivilized class, has a chapter in it. Ghost in the guise of dog. That's all there is. Maybe the parish meant ghost hound. And this ghostly hound was always thirsty for blood. Human blood. Human sacrifice. Raghav looked startled. He recalled Mohendra Babu telling him about the parish wanting a young Adivasi boy to be brought to him. What on earth was going on? It gets deeper and deeper. The angry hound. Human sacrifice. Even in civilized times? What was Mr. Fernandez up to? Let's find out as I return soon with the next episode. Till then.